McCarthy Insurance Group, serving the community for over 70 years. For home, farm, motor, life, health and business insurance, log on to mig.ie or free phone 1800 50 11 11. Probably your best call in 2024. Charles McCarthy Insurance is trading as McCarthy Insurance Group, is regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland.
Real people, real opinions, real talk radio. The multi-award winning Niall Boylan Show.
Will you be flying the Donald Trump flag tomorrow? Will you be out if he's driving down through County Clare with his entourage? Will you be out waving your flag as you might have been for Joe Biden 2 weeks ago? Donald! Look over here! I don't see Micheál and Leo running to meet him for a game of golf. Strange that, isn't it? They couldn't wait to get to see him with their St. Patrick's Day bowl of Shamrock. Sure they couldn't. And then COVID. I felt so sorry for Micheál Martin. COVID killed him on 2 occasions. He was gagging to be the Taoiseach of the country and get to America and hand over the bowl of Shamrock. And then COVID came and he didn't get to do it. He did it on a screen. Wasn't quite the same thing, was it? Anyway, the question I want to ask you is, will you be out flying the Donald Trump flag? Or do you think, no, Niall, he's a nasty little man? The number is 087 188 0008. That's 087 188 0008. Will you be flying the flag? Or is he a nasty little man? You let me know.
Hey, what's the crack?
What's the crack, Tina? So, Tina, well, firstly, do you live anywhere near Clare?
I can hardly hear you. The line is really bad.
Oh, I'm in a radio station, so I'm assuming it might be your line and not mine. But however, are you?
Sorry. Anything you can do, I can do better.
Do you live anywhere near County Clare?
No, I can barely make out what you're saying, but if you can hear me, I have as much interest in that Oompa Loompa Trump being in Ireland as Biden was maybe standing outside some shop like Circle K plugging it. And I'm from Galway.
Right.
They have no influence on my life, any way, shape or form. They think about me as much as I think about them. Like, I have snubbed, what's that boring guy that used to do the late Pat Kenny?
Right, yeah.
There's one famous person I followed down to the snug. And it was, what was it? Kiefer Sutherland when I was 19.
Right, okay. Why Kiefer Sutherland, by the way?
It was 30 years ago.
Oh, right,
and he had just been in that vampire movie, The Lost Boys.
Oh, The Lost Boys, yeah.
And I was a teenager and obsessed, and I had overheard somebody saying he was in the sweater shop in the Imperial Hotel.
Right.
I followed him. I went up, seen him with his 2 big minders, followed him halfway down Shop Street in the pissing rain, and I looked at him, and he went, hello, and I froze, and I went, hiya. And I legged it out of the snug, and that was my claim to fame. Like, what has Biden or Trump ever done for me? Nothing.
Well, Biden at the moment is the president. Donald Trump was the president, could be the president again. But they are the presidents, or were the presidents, of the most powerful nation in the world.
Who prey on the naivety of the Irish, maybe, for their votes?
Well, the Irish vote in America, yeah.
Sorry, did I say that out loud?
You did say that out loud, yeah. So, there's no doubt about it. The reason that Biden was here 2 weeks ago is to get the Irish vote in America, of course, absolutely.
Do you ever notice, Niall, when it suits the Americans, they're always related to the Irish in some way?
Well, most of them are related to the Irish in some way.
Why? Because we built America. They'd never admit that, though.
Right. So the thing about it is, Tina, so you won't be out on the streets waving an American flag?
I was walking the opposite side of the street. If I seen them coming, they bored the life out of me.
All right, okay. Thank you, Tina. Let me go to Gavin. Gavin, you're in Ireland's Classic Hits Radio. How you doing, Gavin?
How are you doing, Noel? I'm wrecked. I'm only after arriving back from the European Parliament after having a meeting with the Romanian MEP. So I'm a bit tired. So, how's things?
Are you serious or are you joking?
I'm not joking. I done an interview with the Romanian MEP. I'll be up on Twitter in a bit with it. The interview will be up on Twitter.
All right, okay, good man. What are you doing, a podcast, is it?
No, not a podcast. It's about the protest, Noel.
Oh, right, okay.
And the hate speech law.
Okay, all right. You've got me completely confused. Yeah, you've confused me completely, Gavin, but it doesn't matter. Back to Donald Trump. Would you fly the flag for Donald Trump?
100%. Donald Trump is welcome here.
Some people may not agree with you.
Well, look at who would he prefer, Sleepy Joe Biden?
Well, some do. I mean, even though I'm not a Biden fan, I'm going to be honest with you, his visit to Ireland was very successful.
Yeah, look at Donald Trump is a legend, right? He cares about free speech. He cares about democracy. Like, he cares about children and stuff like that and the women's rights. Joe Biden is just an establishment sort of leader, so Donald Trump's welcome here. Everyone should be proud to have the man. When he was the president of America, had the lowest unemployment rate in the history of the country.
I wouldn't say it was in the history of the country, but it was, yes, in 30 or 40 years, yeah.
Yeah. 40, yeah. Well, look at Joe Biden is falling apart. The petrodollar is collapsing. You know what I mean? Like, let's be honest. Like, it's anarchy over in America at the moment. They need a leader like Trump to fix it.
So you think he's the man to fix it again?
100%.
And what do you say to the people who said he broke it in the first place?
What?
What do you say to people who said he was the one who broke it?
I'd say they're head cases.
But so, do you, Gavin, don't get me wrong, people know my views on this whole thing, I suppose. I certainly wouldn't be a Joe Biden fan. But when you look at, say, all the things that are coming out about Donald Trump, coincidentally, when he's running for presidency again, in relation to the 34 felony charges, he now has allegations of sexual assault against him, civil cases, can I point out, not criminal cases, of sexual assault against him. Does none of that kind of wash with you and say, oh, maybe I'm back in the wrong horse?
Come on, Niall. Look, you know how way the establishments work. Look, I'm not saying that he's innocent or not. I'm not saying that like that, but I'm saying that's what they do to drown them out from running again. Like, even if he doesn't, like, DeSantis should be president. Like, the Republicans are better. They cared about the national state of America. The Democrats are head cases. They want to spend, print money into oblivion, and in the end, it fails. And it's the countries in the Western world, they're going down. It's the rising east, it's the declining west. Good LDP is the man to fix the job. Like, Donald Trump doesn't want to be in wars in Ukraine and stuff like that.
He said that tonight in an interview. Yes, Ireland's Classic Hits Radio. How you doing, Melissa?
Good evening. How are you?
Good evening.
Yeah, I would love to meet the man personally, and I think it's fantastic he's coming over. Basically, he's got his golf club there. He's just after investing another 40 million.
Yes, he has invested a lot of money invested in Ireland, yep.
An awful lot of money here. That's his business, and he does love Ireland. I don't doubt he loves Ireland. And let's everyone remember 14% of our Irish hotels were handed over.
Just go into another room, Melissa, because your phone is breaking up there. Run into another room. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, this might be better. Is that clearer?
That's better. Yes, sorry, Melissa.
So, when anyone else brings tourism to local area employment and economic value to the rest of the area, especially Dunbeg in County Clare, which is quite a beautiful area, actually. We should be saying thank you very much. Thank you very much for keeping your hotel open.
Yeah.
I know it shut down for a couple of days there during the lockdowns, the same as they all did.
Yeah.
But he actually minded his staff and brought them all back. I was talking to a tourist officer in Kilkenny, and she's literally saying in the council, and she was saying to me, Melissa, we're not going to have hotel staff or bar staff. They're not going to be there to be got. When all this, this 14% is handed back, that the staff has moved on. In fairness to him, and credit where credit is due, he took every member of his staff back on, 137 of them.
And would you be a Trump fan like yourself? Would you be a fan?
I suppose a fan, I think, is a strong word.
Okay. I mean, I suppose what I'm trying to say is, if you lived in America, would you?
Respect for his policies. I would vote for him over.
That's what I was going to say. If you lived in America, would you vote for him? Yeah.
I would definitely vote for him on areas of the borders, which we're actually seeing here now, and is a very high, conversation.
Well, he spoke about that tonight in his interview on television as well, about the American borders. Yeah.
I like that his son came out and said that the new hate speech laws in Ireland are insane, because I think every one of us have to sit back here and seriously think about what, thought speech, not being able to talk about I would consider myself a Republican. I absolutely adore history. And to be told you're not allowed to talk about history, this is taking every bit of the value of our culture and heritage away from us. And it's something.
Well, I don't think anyone is ever going to suggest you can't talk about history. I mean,
it's actually it's actually in the legislation.
Well, I don't think I did.
Yeah.
What part of the legislation says you can't discuss history?
I'll send it on to you. There's a certain area in it where you can't discuss what happened in the past in different wars and stuff.
I think you might be taking that out of context.
I'll send it to you.
Well, I would like to see that, because I haven't seen that in the legislation. No, I haven't seen that part of the legislation.
I don't think there should be a red carpet rolled out for any of them. I have to say that very strongly. Now, 50 million, the bill cost for Biden to come. It was the biggest security operation ever in Irish history.
Yeah, but he is the president of America.
But it was the biggest ever spent.
Oh, I know. Yeah. It's a lot of money.
It was 7,000 a minute. Now, this is just down here, down south.
When you put it like that, 7,000 a minute, it sounds like a lot of money. Yes, of course.
7,000 a minute. And so this was like 400,000 an hour. That was in the north. And then it was 50 million outside of that, down here. Now, I'm sorry, in the middle of a housing crisis. I'm after getting pictures of a poor 50-year-old man there in Wicklow. He's actually going to be on the telly, I think, in TV4.
I know what you're saying, and I'm sorry, but I'm a bit restricted for time. But yeah, 50 million's being spent on a president when we're in the middle of a housing crisis is an awful lot of money, and I get that. But the argument is that it's good for trade between America and Ireland. But stay there for a second. Let me just go to Martin, if I can as well. Martin, you're on Ireland's Classic Hits Radio. How you doing, Martin?
Good evening, Niall. I'll have to apologise. It's a really poor line. I can barely make out what.
And that's okay. Okay, go ahead. I do apologise. I have no understanding as to why, but go ahead.
I didn't catch that. No.
Okay, sorry, Martin. What is it you want to say?
Well, basically, I think the whole idea of allowing council houses, people who are occupying council houses, to actually rent out rooms, I think it's absolutely outrageous. It's disgraceful. The taxpayers are paying for those houses. The rest of us have to go out, get a mortgage, whatever. And
I am going to come to that particular conversation very shortly, Martin. But I'm sticking to Donald Trump just for the moment before the news. So,
sorry.
Yeah. Sorry. I know you mentioned you were happy to have him here.
Yes, yeah. I mean, he's the ex-president of the United States. Everyone seemed quite happy to roll out the red carpet for dopey Joe Biden.
Mm-hmm.
Like when there's a possibility that Trump will become president again. Not a big probability, but a possibility. I think more likely to be Ron DeSantis. But I have no problem with Trump. I mean, there's plenty of money squandered and wasted on all kinds of other things. He brings employment to the area.
Would you vote for him? Would you vote for him, Martin?
Pardon?
Would you vote for Donald Trump?
If I was American, I'd be a Republican, and I would have been a Trump voter, yes.
Okay, well, hold on, because I got to go to Dermot as well before the news. Stay there. Dermot, you're in Ireland's Classic Hits Radio. How you doing, Dermot?
Yes. I would say the situation is complicated because Trump is no longer the president. I don't agree that he will probably be the next president. I think it's going to be the Kennedy guy because he's more Republican than Trump is.
I did watch an interview with Robert Kennedy the other night, and I know he has a reputation for being an anti-vaxxer, but mind you, I was quite impressed with the interview that he gave, but I still don't think he's going to get enough people to get anywhere close to voting for him.
Well, that's what I said about Trump, and we saw what happened. But that's a side issue. The real thing is I respect Trump for all he did when he was in office. He made some mistakes. He's not perfect. But I tried to contact, through the telephone, the Gulf Centre to give him some updated information on the situation in Ireland so that he could know what the situation was. And he might be able to help Ireland out with the problem that our elected representatives created by declaring war on Russia. And we now have a Russian ambassador who's clearly saying Ireland is not neutral. We are a combatant. We are at war with you. And they're perfectly entitled to do that because we declared war on them on the 23rd of February when the Irish cabinet sent Irish troops to train Ukrainian troops. And we
the government or Simon Coveney will argue that we're not involved in the conflict per se. But I do agree with you, and yes, I mean if you're going to get involved by training combatants, or if you're going to be providing finances for a war, well then you are involved in it.
We're knee deep in it. We declared war on Russia.
Well, we didn't declare war on Russia, but yes,
Russia
we're involved.
Start dropping bombs on us, and it's end of story. And they knew exactly what they were doing.
Okay, so you want to obviously come on and talk about that. You didn't particularly want to talk about Donald Trump per se, but you wanted Donald Trump to know these things. I'm pretty sure, to be honest with you, with the greatest respect, Dermot, Donald Trump is informed about all of these things. He doesn't probably need Dermot to tell him. So if you watch the interview with Donald Trump tonight, you know, he does have an opinion on the war with Ukraine and Russia. He doesn't believe it would have happened if he was the president at the time, and he believes he could end that war very quickly. So that's his opinion on it.
That's why Trump could be useful. Carter was very useful as a ambassador for America when he wasn't the president, counting elections and helping stop wars and so forth.
Okay.
And I think Trump could fulfill that obligation quite well.
Okay, Dermot, I'm running out of time, unfortunately. I've got to go to James as well quickly before I finish up. James, you're on Ireland's Classic Hits Radio. How you doing, James?
Hello.
Hello, James. How are you doing? You believe he's not welcome in Ireland?
No, absolutely not. He has been doing a lot of crap lately.
What sort of crap?
Well, let's stop by remember the election in 2020.
Right, we're going back 3 years here, are we? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, 2 years. He made
Three,
a complete lie. He made a complete lie about that he had won the election when he didn't even know he won the election. And yet he lost the election. Joe Biden.
Yeah, well, most politicians or presidents would do stuff like that. They do shout and roar a lot, and they do say, "Oh, I've won," and then all of a sudden another few votes come in, and they didn't. That's not unusual, James, for people to do that.
No.
Okay.
Well, let's not forget he was facing criminal charges too.
Yeah.
And
you'd be familiar with all of that, would you? Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't like Trump.
You just don't like him.
Misery he's done.
Okay. But when he was president, let's go back to when he was the president of the United States for the 4 years that he was the president. Did you like what he did then, or were you not a fan?
To be honest, I'm not really sure. I mean, I think he was better at the start, but then as time went on, he started becoming an idiot. Like, you know, like he's just. Like, I can't even announce everything he's done, but I can guarantee it's.
See, that's what I'm reaching for here. I'm reaching for reasons, and you know, it's all well and good saying somebody's an idiot, and fair enough, that might be your opinion of him. But you know, you have to have kind of reasons to call him an idiot. I mean, you know, was there policies that he implemented that you didn't agree with, for example?
All right, sorry, idiot was probably the wrong word.
No, that's okay. You can use the word idiot if you want to. I'm just curious as to policies that he may have implemented. What policies did he bring in that you wouldn't have agreed with, for example?
It's just the fact in 2020 he lied about winning the election when he didn't even know he won the election. How would he know? And of course he didn't win the election.
No, he didn't.
Joe Biden did.
Yeah, but he was the most popular loser in American history.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he did. He got more votes than any sitting president in American history, even though he didn't win. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a strong possibility he could be president again. I mean, he is polling very high at the moment. So.
Oh my God! I swear, if he becomes president again, I'm gonna lose my mind. Like, actually.
Right.
Like.
Okay.
Real people, real opinions, real talk radio. The multi-award winning Niall Boylan Show.